Thieves get away with $30 million in Los Angeles cash heist. What?
I'm talking $30 million in cash money stolen on Easter Sunday.
Cash money.
It happened in northern Los Angeles at a money storage facility. What's that? Cash from businesses across the region, well, they're held there. Sources telling CNN the burglars broke through the roof.
Wow.
Bypassed the alarms.
Wow.
Entered the vault by cutting through the ceiling, and then exited the building by breaking through a rear wall. It's one of the largest cash.
Nah, you know what? There's no way that there's not an inside job. I mean, I don't know all the particulars. Just a minute into this video, I can already tell this is an inside job.
I know. You've probably got 30 million questions. So do I. So for starters, you ever see what $30 million in cash looks like in person? Me either. But here's
What? First off, how that? Okay, that was definitely a crew. You know how heavy $30 million in cash has to be? Like that had to have been at least 10 niggas that went in there and took that paper. That was a whole crew. If this building holds all of this paper, there's no security. That was what?
This is $30 million stacked in $100 bills. Now, we don't know the denominations of the stolen cash, but in $100 bills, that would be about 661 pounds. If it were in $50 bills, more than 1,300 pounds. $20 bills, 3,300 pounds. And in case the burglars really ran into a challenge, $1 bills would have been...
Oh, man, that's a stripper's paradise right there. Oh, I digress.
66,000 pounds.
Crazy.
So, about all those questions, who better to help than the person who first broke this story, along with a former bank robber? Well, joining me now, Richard Winton, a reporter for the Los Angeles Times, and Joe Loya, who robbed more than 30 banks in the late 80s. And
what the fuck? How? So, I'm assuming the bank robber is the nigga on the right. He robbed all those banks and he free? Like, he robbed banks 20, 30 years ago and he's a free man to talk about it? This nigga serving hard time right now for weed.
Served prison time for doing so. He's the co-host of the podcast.
I'm sure he did serve prison time, but he out though.
Richard, what are your sources telling you about how this heist was even carried out?
It was carried out very quietly on a holiday, which is not unusual when it comes to big heists. They choose the place and time when there's the least opposition, and this was clear.
Hey man, what if that bank robber dude, what if he know who did it? I feel like people that have robbed multiple banks, I feel like they know like crews that do heists, like they kind of all know each other like gangs. I'd be willing to bet that if he may not know who did it directly, but he might have some ties still to who might have been, I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking.
I mean, Joe, you're the one with the experience here, to say the least. I'm wondering from your perspective, when I describe what is like entailed seemingly, how much planning would go into something like this?
The crime is dictated by the inside of the place. So if the place says you have to be here to avoid these, to avoid these cameras, and then maybe you have to push this code here and wait for this to happen. How you have to maneuver through there is your plan, and I believe it's an inside plan.
Yes.
So I believe that everybody who was involved in robbing it already understood that they understood what they had to do, where they had to be, what cameras to avoid. So I don't think that's the challenging part, planning the actual robbery. It's all the other things that go into it. It's the disguises, it's the weapons, it's the getaway stuff.
Damn, just looking, okay, entered by the roof, they bypassed the alarm, they cut ceiling access vault, and then they broke the wall to get out. So to me, of course, when you do something like that, the spot has to be cased. You have to have some intel. Entered by the roof. How would you know where you can get in from the roof if you didn't have somebody telling you, hey, It's a door up there. You can get in through there. Bypass the alarm. You know where, if there's, I'm sure there's sensors in there. You know where the sensors are, where you can go, like dude said. Somebody inside must have told you that. You cut the ceiling. Somebody inside must have told you the ceiling it's just drywall ceiling, or it's a, you know, a drop ceiling. You can just push the, somebody told you that, told you where the vault was. And then you broke the wall to load the money. Somebody, well, I guess you can kind of tell what the building is made from the outside, but from the inside, the interior wall, somebody from the inside must have told you, hey, this is just a regular drywall. You can cut right through it, access from the outside, boom, that quick. Otherwise, you go in there, you trying to just freestyle the shit. Hey man, we're gonna go in through the roof. You get up on the roof, ain't no way to get in. You don't know where the alarm is. You can't cut the ceiling because everything is concrete. The interior walls are brick. You just assed out. Inside job. There's no, I wonder if them niggas hiring on Indeed or something.